Morning guys, and a welcome from me, CM0102, on this piss poor dull looking Saturday morning. So, I did another holiday swing overnight on our fantasy football game here today. Now, there is some bad news. I ain't gonna lie to you, there is some fucking awful news. And that is 6 of our players, of the entire 70, including Luis Binks, 6 of our players have retired. I actually thought the settings were done that you couldn't retire before the age of 34, but clearly I've got that wrong. So it is a very, very sad day. One of those 6 people is not Luis Binks. Now, the reason I'm saying Luis Binks is because I left him in the game as his proper age, and he was actually 3 years older than the characters I put in. So you'd have thought, if anyone was going to retire, it would have been Binks, but it's not to be. I left this running overnight, and we are at the end, as you've probably just seen now, start of season 17. Everybody is 32 years of age, all those players that are left, with the exception of Luis Binks, who of course is 35. The 6 people, now, a couple of them, I believe, have only just retired. So, without further ado, let's put it in, shall we? The first person that has retired, I don't think I can get to, is Paul Adams. I'm sorry to say, Paul, he's just retired, and there's a couple of these I can't even get to because they must have retired last season. For one reason or another, could be injury. Now, the fortunate thing about Paul Adams is I can see his history. And he was, I would call him a Brighton legend, but I'd be a complete liar if I called him a Brighton legend, wouldn't I? So, and he ended up on a free transfer to South Shields. So he's only just retired after a season at South Shields, even though it wasn't playable league. The second person to retire is Matt Meikle. Now, I don't think I can even get to Matt Meikle. Oh, I can. Matt Meikle, there he is. He's just retired. His last season was at Karl. Now, I think, yeah, Karl Ferrydean. I think I remember them. They're a semi-professional. So he moved to Wigan, and then he moved back and ended his career there. The third person to leave, I feel like I'm speaking about I'm a celebrity here. The third person to go then is Daniel Young, and he's not on the game. So Daniel Youngs has gone. The next person is William Anderson. William Anderson has departed. I've also checked these guys as a non-player, so they've not got any coaching role either. So William Anderson has gone also. The 5th player to leave is Andy Lowe. And Andy Lowe doesn't look too bad a player at all, to be fair. Now, for whatever reason, I can't answer why, his whole history has fucking disappeared. So, whatever happened, Andy, I'm sure it was a glorious career. You didn't break into the England setup, but you retired, and that's the end of your game. And finally, our last player to leave is Philip Stewart, who I can't get to. So, there are 6 players. Commiserations to those 6 guys who all leave. Now, incidentally, Paul Adams was an attacking midfield right. Matt Meikle was also the same position. Daniel Young was an AMC. And William, Andy Lowe and Philip Stewart were all out-and-out strikers. Let's now go to our remaining 64 players in order of value. Currently at Watford, Padraig. Well, he's been around the block a little bit, hasn't he? I mean, last time we knew he was in Italy. He was amongst the big boys in Italy. But you can see, loan spell at Cheltenham, whilst at Lazio. Big move to West Ham, big move to Fulham, loan spell to Wrexham, loan spell to Stevenage, move to Cardiff, and for this new season ahead, he is at Watford. 15 caps for Ireland, still looks a good shot. And remember what I said about goalkeepers, probably peak early 30s as opposed to outfield players, so you never know. And he is the highest value player. Second, Thomas Tunnicliffe, now plying his trade at Spurs, and in fairness to Thomas here, he's been, let's see where Spurs are. They're in the Premier League still, so under 7 average, apart from that one season right there. But he's getting games. He is getting games, Thomas. Not broken into the England setup. You never know, it's not too late. Ian Williams, we said he had one of the best heading in the game. Now, that's a dark colour. That looks like that's gone down. So Ian Williams is at Watford, and it's there to be seen. He is a prolific performer, Premier League, and I'd be very, very surprised if he couldn't break into the England setup. You know, with that sort of ratio of goals for England, for Watford, he's done really, really well. And, you know, he's probably been one of the most prolific players out of everybody, to be fair, Ian. Well done. Eben, the good news about Eben is, well, the bad news is that he's still at Inter Miami, or still across the pond, shall we say. But he has broken into the Nigerian squad, 39 caps, 9 goals. Very, very pleased to see him with that. But I think it's too late now for him to have made his move over the pond. Although he is not needed by Inter Miami, so you never know, he might get a move over. Next one, Shane Couzens. Now, Shane Couzens really looks the bollocks. And he's also at Watford. So, again, a bit like, was it Ian we just said? He's had a good hatful of games, and Watford are Premier League. So, whilst his performances haven't been superb, he's been almost an ever-present. I mean, credit where it's due there to Shane. Marc Whittaker, another one who looks the bollocks. Everton are Premier League. Marc Whittaker, very similar story. He's certainly had some games. Although he's only just moved to Everton from Bournemouth. And you can see his 3-year stint in Bournemouth was really successful for Marc. So, well done to Marc. On to the next one then. Where are we? Tobias, 16 caps for Sweden. Napoli, didn't quite get the caps that he wanted. Didn't quite get the awards that he was wanting. Bit of a journeyman, I think it's fair to say. I mean, so let's see now then. Starting at Napoli, Atalanta, Roma, Milan, Juventus, back to Roma, back to Napoli. Fucking hell, Tobias. You have been around the block, haven't you? And I bet you can speak Italian. Of course you can. Italian and Swedish, but you can't speak English, Tobias. What the fuck is that all about? Basic language English, you're a disgrace. Okay, on to the next one then. Jay Genever. Jay is at Celta. I'm saying he is at Celta. Probably already was. Just hard for me to remember. And to be fair to Jay, Celta, a playable league. He's done very well. Last season, he was clearly in their reserves. No, he wasn't. He got moved to reserves. But that's last season. So 6 and 7. And he's done alright. He has genuinely done alright. Better than what he did when he was at Millwall. I don't know. One more pot shot, Jay. Peter, well, his stats speak volumes. I mean, I would call him a legend at Porto, not quite that at Leicester, loan spell at Burton as he comes to the twilight years of his career. But we did say Peter was doing really, really well. I mean, look at that for Australia, 70 caps, 41 goals. He will be down as an Australian legend, I am sure. Marc Rutgers never broke into the Dutch squad, whilst Newcastle are still top flight. Actually, he's only just moved there from Exeter on a Bosman. Did very, very well at Exeter though. Credit where it's due. Very, very prolific. I mean, look at those assists in his last 3 seasons. 17, 16, 17. Even 11 is one before that. So, you know, the best part of over 60 assists in 4 seasons. I think you've got to give him credit where it's due here, Marc Rutgers. Shame not to have seen him break into the Dutch squad, it would be fair to say. Okay, on to the next one then. Matt Tierney. Remember what we said. Steven Gerrard wannabe. Matt Tierney, still a West Ham guy. I mean, again, he's at DMC, really enforcer. Does really well, but never made it to that next step up. A good season last campaign. You never know. I mean, West Ham, their championship, so I'm not sure if he's going to get his crack this season. But you never know. On to page 2 then. We're down to 6 pages. Paul Ogden, right back. We are going to obviously get lower value players as we go. Paul Ogden at Portsmouth. Just taken a move to Portsmouth from Wrexham. And there is Paul Ogden. Panos is still in Romania. Probably one of 2 or 3 players as one of the most loyal players of all of us. It's just a shame, Panos, you didn't do it in a playable league. John McGrath, I think he was at Rotherham, wasn't he? No, he was at Mansfield. John McGrath. Well, that's John McGrath. Nothing worth screaming about. Pepe Page. Pepe Page has been an absolute pile of dog shit. Ebbsfleet, Falkirk, Hibernian, he's been around the block, hasn't he, Pep? Michael Chambers, what a legend. I mean, a bit late now for tackling to go up. I had so much potential, I mean, for fuck's sake. But there you go, I've been a journeyman, haven't I? Look at that, what a fucking shower of dog shit as well. Me and Pep. Okay, Philippe, when I was checking to see who'd retired, I couldn't find Philippe, or I just weren't looking correctly, and I thought that we've lost a Brazilian, but here he was. And he's still taking it easy in the Brazilian league. Fucking layabout. Okay, on to the next one. Adam Rowland, Nantes. I mean, Nantes isn't actually a bad club, but he's really keeping it French. He doesn't really play. I mean, he's had a hatful of games. Yeah, it's a bit of a shitter, really. It's a bit of a shitter. Not quite the season he wanted, the career. Ili Stevkov, 31 caps for Macedonia. Yeah, he's listed. No, he's listed for loan, sorry. But, yeah, Ili Stevkov is playing in Holland. Still going strong. Well played. Daz Jones, the best creative player in the world. But, I mean, I had to look at this. Who the fuck are Orange City? They are a United States professional team, apparently. But that's Daz Jones. That's where, let's just go back to his history. Yeah, Sheffield Wednesday, Stoke, Swansea. Remember him at Swansea, of course we do. Ross Horn looks a decent player. We did say DMC, long shots. Hasn't really had the performances he wanted. Went to West Ham, went to Mansfield, went back to West Ham. So he's been around the block a few times. Michael Page, one of the best dribblers in the game. Didn't really pay off. A big move though from Sheffield Wednesday to Cardiff. A few loan spells, and now a free transfer to Preston for the new season, which of course is his second time around at Preston. On to page number 3. Matty Price, once the highest value player, highest earner, shall I say, sorry. Looking pretty dog shit at the minute, Matty Price. Look at that. How many moves does one player have to have? I bet he's got a dodgy agent, or he must have. G. John Davies, never really. I thought he'd do it, to be honest with you, John Davies. I thought he'd break in at least to the Welsh squad. Ashley looks decent. It looks decent. He's at Preston, who are League One. So again, that's his second time at Preston because he was there after moving from Derby. A couple of moves and back at Preston for a minimal 130 grand. Morton never made it to the Norwegian seniors. Is it too late? He's still going strong though. Anderlecht is still in Belgium. I'm guessing he can speak Belgian. No fluent language. I thought he might be able to. He's been in Belgium a little bit. But, I don't know. One more crack for you, Morton. Karl Rhodes. Now, I remember reading Karl Rhodes. He was looking decent. He was looking very decent. He gets a brand new move to Brighton for the new season. Been around the block a few times, as you can see. One last hurrah for you. League One though, Brighton, so I don't know, maybe not into the international setup. Karl. Marc Brown looks, oh look, another one at Orange City. So Marc Brown, another journeyman who has been around the block a little bit. I could quite easily have monitored just how much players have moved for in combined, but fuck that would take too fucking long. So anyone saying, why don't you do this, fuck off. Michael Clarkson, some news about Michael Clarkson. He broke into the Cameroon squad. I did look at this actually, and a cap for Cameroon. Now he's not in the current setup, so I'm not sure when that came, but who gives a shit? He is an international. He has that cap. In fact, let's have a look when it was. It weren't last season. It weren't the season before. It wasn't the season. Fucking hell, when did you fucking have it? There it was, and it was a substitute role. It was a substitute role, and he conceded 3 goals in it. Fucking hell, Michael Clarkson. You come, do you know what? You disgust me. You fucking disgust me, Michael. But still playing in France at a bankrupt club. You never know. You never know. He might get another game for Cameroon. John Pickett, looking bleak indeed. Crystal Palace really is where he spent most of his career, but in them and QPR. Stu Murtha finally departed from Rotherham. Let's see when that was. It was over there in 2032/33, where a move to Portsmouth. a loan spell at Boreham Wood, and he's been fucking shit at Portsmouth as well. So one last chance for you, Stu Murtha, who is transfer listed. Shane Wright has never left Saudi Arabia. Looks a good left back. Now, I can't take those ratings as gospel because it's an unplayable league. Tackling and decisions look very, very brutal. But Shane, very loyal player. Pete Rudd. Pete Rudd is another player that's got some really impressive attributes. And again, another player that did a bit at Watford, did a bit at Southampton. Never really had a good season though. His best season probably came on a loan spell over at Stoke City. So that's Pete Rudd. Let's go to page 4 now then. Chris Thomas. Chris Thomas, looking shocking, Chris. And with a history like that, I'm not surprised. Aston Villa legend, we'll call you though, Chris. Kevin Gilmartin, mate. Shocking's not a word I'm going to use to describe you. A few minimal moves for you, Kevin. So you've been around, but you are at Swindon for a new challenge on a Bosman. Paul Roberts, mate. Fucking hell. You can tell we're getting to the lower end value of the players, but don't worry, Paul. It is going to be positive for you. Trust me. So Stoke City leading the way. Southampton legend. I think I'm definitely going to be calling Paul Roberts. Did very, very well there to get so many games. Justin, goalkeeper, Oldham, never really did much. Right. I'm going to have to hurry up here, guys. I'm in a bit of a fucking time scale. Okay, so that was Justin. Bollocks. Where have I lost my place? Fucking bastard. I'm on page 4 now, right? Okay, Justin. Right, Marc Bonney looks the bollocks. Preston legend, I'm going to call him Marc, because you've never... Oh, no, do you know what? You're into Miami, so you're an American legend. Fucking Judas. Chris Henson, mate, you're just looking... do you know what? I'm not even... There ain't a word in a dictionary for you, Chris, to describe what you are. Because look at you. Fucking look at you. Have a good look. Wayne Chester, you were once the shittiest player of the whole game. I'd like to tell you that you have retained that title. That's Wayne Chester. John Chambers did make a move in Italy, yet again to another low-rate Italian side. That's only just, so Regina. John does look decent, but can't see him getting very much further. Mick Harrogate, just got a new move to Harrogate after being at Blackburn. He was a Millwall guy. That is Mick. Matt King looks a shower of shit. New move for you at Halifax Town. Matt King, you have one of the best finishing attributes, amongst the best finishing attributes. I think Eben has the best. But mate, you've done fucking awful. You're a waste of space. You're like Gaza. Jamie Baxter's now thinking, fuck you. Okay, Brian Lacey, still going. So what you've got to remember, guys, whilst these players, you might not be looking too great, you are still going. And that's one place ahead of those fucking showers of shit that have retired early for whatever reason. Fucking, they just lost it, didn't they? George Wills, once described as one of the most potential players in the game, along with Steve Harl. Never really lived up to their expectations though. That is George Wills. Steve Harl, talking devil, here he is. He seems to have got shitter with age. And that is Steve Harl. Jeff Cowell went to Kilmarnock, Hibernian. Swindon is a brand new move for Jeff Cowell. Oh no, sorry, that is not Swindon at all, is it? Oh my god. Swindon Supermarine. Now, I've never fucking heard of Swindon Supermarine. All I know is that they're a semi-professional English side. It's not Swindon Town. So good luck with that one, Jeff. On that team I've never heard of. Derek Robertson, Albion Rovers. So yeah, you've been around a little bit, Derek. Never broke into the Scotland squad though. Baz Chambers, Eastbourne. Okay, Baz's been about a little bit. More about Eastbourne in a minute. On to Tim Edwards. Tim Edwards, I always liked the look of him and never really did it. But look where he is. He's at Swindon Supermarine. Who the fuck are Swindon Supermarine? But we've got two players there. Ashton Clare was once on the scrap heap, and looks like he was there again. But he is now at East Thurrock. Although non-playable, he gets another crack before he hangs up his boots. Trevor Choi still going strong. He's just got himself a brand new move in Italy. Semi-professional, so not playable after leaving Brescia. Still going. Rob Lloyd at Dunfermline. Very much played it in Scotland and Wrexham. Luke Langley, one of the most loyal guys, and going back to Eastbourne, Luke Langley is still at Eastbourne. So Luke Langley certainly would win an award for one of the longest serving players, most loyal guy. Jamie Baxter, 24 caps for Scotland. Now, I should point out where we are. Jamie Baxter is currently on a free. His contract is either ended or has been released. By the look at his career at Fulham, it looks like it's come to an end. So Jamie Baxter is available on a free, and so are the next bunch of players. Here we go. Lewis Binks, 35 years of age, 13 caps for Scotland. Lewis Binks is available on a free. Roxy Browne, available on a free. Not surprising with those shit attributes. After being released by Burnley. Adam Bush, available on a free. We spoke about Bush ages ago. Former Man United prodigy. Never made it. Their loss. On to Dan Hanshaw, available on a free after being released by Stoke City. Former Peterborough player, of course, Dan Hanshaw. Liam McShane, once the highest valued player out of all of us. Released at Cardiff after not having a single... Oh, no, he did have a game. Sorry, it was after that loan spell. But, yeah, you shit, Liam. Ex-Newcastle as well. On to Daniel Osborne, mate. No, Daniel Osborne is actually on a rolling contract. So he's not actually released. I better just make sure that weren't the case with the others, weren't I? No. So he is playing in France, but he's on a rolling contract. Probably means he'll get released soon. Lee Sylvester. He has just been released after a long industrial career at Derby County. And looking at all those games, 24 games in total with 4 goals, 2 assists, 663 in 16 years. You fucking liability. I told you should have gone back to the gym. Okay, Dave. Dave has been released despite one of the best creativity players behind Daz Jones has been released from QPR. Has got one more move in him, you would feel. And finally, Sam Wheatley, Malaysian, 20 caps. You feel he probably has got one more move left in him. Okay, I'm trying to rush this really quickly, guys. So what I'm going to show you very quickly, competitions. Now I have checked this, so you're going to have to take my word for it. Nobody's won any Ballon d'Or or Goalkeeper of the Year or anything like that. I did check the. I will quickly go on to check it. The African Footballer of the Year, in the hope that Eben might have got something. He didn't. But the one thing we're going to have to check is Peter Trina has continued. Now, for some reason, I'm saved at the end of July. We've still not got this year's in. But based on what we've got so far, Peter has won it no fewer than 10 times Oceania Footballer of the Year. And you can see he did 7 in a row there whilst Porto, and 3 in a row for Brighton. So Peter Trina, individually, probably the most successful. But if we'd all put ourselves as Australian, right, that fucker wouldn't have had it so easy. That's a fact. So that is where we're at. No one's worth it. So what I think I'll do, I might holiday another couple of years and then see. We're probably going to lose more players, guys. I would half expect us to, a bunch of these players on free transfers over here, opt to just retire. One last quick thing. Let's see who is on the highest. Who's on the highest valued? Let's go that way. So Ian Williams, 90 grand a week. You fucking greedy bastard. Peter, Matt Tierney. Now look at that. Ross Horn has a non-promotion release clause which has been activated for 650 grand. So West Ham bid in Championship. If anyone bids 650 for him, he's just got agreed terms to get his move. West Ham cannot prevent that at all. Marc Rutgers, Matt Tierney, Mark Whittaker, they've all got a minimum release clause, and you can see what everyone's wage is down there. Let's see who the lowest valued, lowest earner is. Probably Luke Langley, always is. No, it's not Luke Langley actually. Langley's on a grand and 1,100 a week. Same with Jeff, same with Baz. Eastbourne's showing out a bit of wages there. So Derek Robertson and Rob Lloyd. But guys, 500 quid a week, yeah? These poor fuckers are on fuck all. And where's that fucking bastard I just saw who was on a rolling contract? Where is he? Look, Daniel Osborne, no wonder he's on a rolling contract. He's fucking on 24 grand a week, so I expect him to be released from that rolling contract. Okay guys, hope you've enjoyed it. Till next time, which will probably be the last part. You never know. Might even keep it going for an extra season and just see where we all go. So until next time guys, take it easy from me. Fuck off.